Screamhaven Shorts. In Screamhaven, some boxes aren't meant to be opened. Darius had always wanted a fresh start. The flea market seemed like an unlikely place to find one. Quiet, nearly deserted, lit only by flickering neon and the low hum of dying lights. Most stalls were shuttered, but one caught his eye. A shadowy corner where a small, intricately carved box rested on a velvet cloth. It hummed faintly, almost as if it were alive. The old vendor leaned forward, his eyes dark and knowing. "It takes what you don't need, but it always wants more," he whispered. Darius laughed nervously, and shook his head. He didn't know why, but the box felt compelling. He handed over a few bills, and carried it home, oblivious to the way the streetlights seemed to flicker behind him as he walked away. At first, it seemed harmless. He set the box on his kitchen table, and examined it, tracing the delicate carvings with his fingers. A broken toy from his childhood sat nearby, a reminder of a day he wished he could forget. He set it too close to the box, and somehow it tipped forward, sliding inside as if pulled. A strange relief washed over him. The tight knot in his chest seemed to loosen. His apartment, usually cluttered and suffocating, felt lighter. For the first time in weeks, he smiled without effort. Other objects began to find their way into the box. Papers slid off the table. Trinkets toppled from shelves. It was as if the box pulled them in, drawn by the weight of the feelings he'd tied to them. Sometimes, he noticed it pulsing faintly when he felt anger or shame, almost like it recognized his emotions. Each time, it seemed to feed on the bitterness and regret attached to the objects, growing stronger as his relief deepened. Each time, his life seemed just a little bit easier. But he began to notice a pattern. The things that vanished weren't random. They were always tied to some bitter thought, anger, regret, shame. It was as if the box didn't just take the objects. It fed on the feelings attached to them. Then, the people around him began disappearing. His coworker, the one he quietly resented, didn't show up. A friend he argued with last week didn't answer their phone. Even family he'd spoken to with guilt in his voice vanished without a trace. Darius felt a cold knot of fear form in his stomach. He stared at the box, and his blood ran cold. Tiny figures, perfectly formed, and wearing the exact clothes they had on when last seen, filled the box. His friends, his family, strangers, trapped, silent, helpless, no bigger than his hand. Some reached up, as if pleading. Others mimicked the motions of their last moments. And then it hit him. It wasn't the objects the box wanted. It was the weight he tied to them, every regret, every grudge, every bitter thought. Fuel for the box. And now, it wasn't just feeding on things. It was feeding on people. Fear surged through him. He grabbed the box and slammed it to the floor. But thick smoke poured out, swirling and twisting, until it formed the shape of a face. The tiny figure's screams echoed from within. The smoky face leaned close, whispering, Everything is in place, now you join them. In Screamhaven, the darkness has a way of finding you, and nightmares choose their owner.